Well, hi there, Amanda.
Well, hi.
We're back again.
We're back. And I was going to say something funny, but nothing came to me. So here we are, as usual.
We're back in black.
Not me, though. You are.
Sorry, I'm terrible singing.
I literally just rewatched Iron Man as well. So
nice.
Marvel is like my comfort thing. Like, I was talking to a coworker and she was talking about how like Sailor Moon is her comfort show. Whenever she just wants to feel better, she'll watch Sailor Moon. And I was like, what's mine? I was like, probably Marvel movies and Marvel shows.
Yeah, anything Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
It's mine. Mine is probably, well, it was IT Crowd until they took it off fucking Netflix and it pissed me off. So it was IT Crowd. I loved that show.
Oh, probably Parks and Rec too for me. Parks and Rec is always one of those shows.
One. Yeah. I guess I need a new one now.
You do need a new one.
Mm-hmm. Well, hi. What you're listening to is the Neurodivergent Convergence podcast, or the No Daft Cunts podcast, or the Nasty Dirty Critters podcast, or whatever you want to make for the NDC podcast. That's what we are.
Nerdy disassociating creatures. I don't know.
Yes, whatever you want to call it.
We'll accept it.
And sorry if that C word bothers you. It's not as offensive as you would think in other parts of the world. In America, most people don't like it at all. It's kind of worse than saying a motherfucker or whatever, but not around here. Not around here. Like, I live elsewhere, not in America, not in the UK and other places in the world. It's just like saying fuck. It's whatever, you know. Anyway,
got all these people.
Fanny doesn't mean but. Anyway, hi, we're a podcast.
And did you also know that trunk and boot means trunk?
Yeah, boot means trunk. Yeah, we know British things. We're a podcast, and we talk about neurodivergent shit and our experience with neurodivergent shit, and our experience being neurodivergent in a world that's not set up for us, because we are two neurodivergent best friends traveling the neuroverse together, because we are living in a neurotypical world and we are not neurotypical girls. Amanda, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about basically quote unquote cures for autism. Either what people sell for, like, for their kids, or like treatments for adults, basically acting like autism is a disease or something that's more than, or not even like genetic or anything, just kind of like a cause of something else, like either gut health or vaccines or whatever. Basically the people that kind of prey on that type of demographic and try to sell shit with that.
Yeah, we're going to talk to you about all the grifty shit that comes along with that autism label. And why I decided I wanted to bring up this topic today, because I had a video that came across my newly forming YouTube obsession, which is like snark and
info
shit posting and info videos and like disillusionment shit. I'm becoming rather cynical these days.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the dark side.
It's great, actually. But just kind of, I get a little, I don't know, I guess maybe this is an autistic thing, maybe it's just a personality thing, I don't know. I tend to want to trust what people are saying before thinking about it. I'm not as, I don't know. I pride myself in being very realistic for other people. Like, I can see the bullshit for other people, but I have a really hard time sifting through the bullshit for myself and being analytical and that kind of thing. Like, kind of like we were talking about with Ray and Micah on our Patreon chat the other day. It's like I'm able to like apply logic and realism for other people and be like, that's probably not the best idea, or that sounds like a shitty scam or whatever for other people. But then when it comes to me, I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Well,
Like I, it's like I
it's
lose
like a
all that.
third person perspective, you know? It's kinda like
Yeah.
watching someone play a game and you don't understand, like, why can't you see the thing that's right in front of you? Go grab it, and but it's because you're not like, you don't have everything else going around you at the same time.
Right. 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 So I tend to get sucked into these things, and I have 100% fallen for the grifty shit in the autism world. And I wanted to talk about my own experience with it. And this video that came up through my YouTube, like for, I don't know what they call it on the YouTube, the home page
Your
for,
suggested videos.
yeah, sure, suggested videos. I don't know, social media. Um, that kind of shit came
Basically,
across this.
YouTube's For You page.
Yeah, like YouTube's For You page. Sorry, I gotta light our candles right quick because I'm witchy and I like to light candles before our little episode. Anyway, um, that video came across. I started watching. There's a new creator. I've never watched any of her videos before. Totally am already like loving her vibe. And I'll link the video that I watched in the show notes of hers talking about this very grifty person selling courses for how they detoxed their child and opened their detox pathways and saw massive gains in their child's behavior and changes in their diet and
And their
how much
development, like how
improved
they
and
went
their
from
development and all this shit that
nonverbal
happened.
autistic to yeah.
Yeah, and now they're now the and their nonverbal autistic child, and how their child was had got autism from a vaccine injury and like all this shit. Like I want I want to talk about my own personal experience because not only was it like triggering to me and like gut checking to me to like be triggering is such an annoying word anymore. I hate that word, but you know what I mean? Like it brought back that period of my life where I fell for that grifty shit and made me think about just how easy it is to be sucked into this stuff as a parent who just wants to see your child, just wants the best for their kid. And a lot of these parents get sucked into this on this fear mongering shit that these people do to get you pulled in. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit today, get Amanda's sort of 2 cents on it as a child-free person and how she's gone through her life being a more analytical person and sort of being able to see a little bit more through the grifty shit and how like maybe how she's avoided some of this shit or has she ever fallen for things. So just kind of like have this discussion. And this is actually going to be a planned two-part episode. So this will be part one, kind of like my take on it with Amanda's feedback back and forth. We're going to talk about like the children and how parents can get roped into this kind of thing. And then part two is going to be more about how, as adults, how we interact with this content now and like what that looks like for us now and all of that shit and how some adults could get pulled into this, and that's going to be in probably more of an Amanda led conversation, but we'll both have things to say on each episode. So part one, we're going to be discussing like the parenting and child aspect of it. Even for child free people, I still think this is an important conversation to have because everyone knows somebody with a kid, right? So, and a lot of times, we can see, and everyone knows someone who's either been in an MLM or has a friend that buys MLM shit. Like everyone's close to these like multi-level marketing, direct sales, influencer bullshit
Pyramid
companies,
schemes.
right? Pyramid schemes, whatever you want to fucking call them. We've all had some kind of connection to it. And I just kind of want to talk about it today and just get through it. So before we start all of that, Amanda, do we have any bullshitting to do? Do we need to start the bullshittery part of the episode? Is there any catching up to do? Do we have any goddamn it stories from work or any updates or anything going on with you in your life? I am out of water. God damn it. There's a goddamn it story for you. I sat down with no water.
I mean, I feel like it hasn't been that long since last we talked.
No,
But
really.
nothing really has gone on in my world. Not as busy this week as I was last week. Um, shisty people doing shisty things, same old, the
Normal work
world keeps
shit.
turning.
Yeah.
Um, but oh yeah, like one person, like without giving too much away, they basically was given all these checks with their name on it and told to deposit it and told that the account that their name is on is actually owned by Elon Musk. Um, and he's and the whole time I'm like reading the yeah, I'm reading like the breakdown, like the request form for like this like basically to expel this person, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, do these it's mostly old people that fall for this, and, like, I'm not saying young people don't, but it's mostly, like, old people that fall for, like, "This rich person wants to give you money," the whole Nigerian prince scheme, you know?
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
I'm the whole time I'm just like, Elon Musk does not give a fuck about
About
you.
a random person.
Not
Yeah.
one iota. But then so
Mhm.
they were saying, like, from what I remember is that they're like, "Oh, well, this person is like, the account's actually based in Alabama." He's like, "Well, I have friends in Alabama. Like, I have a friend in Alabama that knows Elon Musk." And we're like, "I can bet $1,000,000 that I do not have that Elon Musk knows nobody in Alabama, okay?
Right.
Not a single
And
goddamn
he does
person."
even tell them to give you money.
Yeah.
So,
And
like,
so,
yeah,
like, I
yeah,
felt bad, but it's like, come on, just a little bit of common sense. And so that's basically about it. I My sleep schedule has been so fucked up. I've either have stayed like last week, I stayed up all night twice because I just wasn't tired. Even like the day that I like say Friday, like I stayed up all night Thursday, which was 4th of July, because I slept so much Thursday. And so I stayed up all night like, Thursday night into Friday, and then by Friday night, I wasn't tired. Like I still went to bed like at 1:30 a.m., like
yeah,
1:30. Like I just wasn't tired. And so I'm either like sleeping like 12 to 15 hours or not at all. And so like
yeah,
I don't know what's going on. I've tried melatonin, I've tried like magnesium glycinate, I've tried like the only thing that works obviously is like taking Dramamine, something that has drowsiness as a side effect, but it's not something I want to
yeah,
rely on. But like I don't want to have to take like a sleeping pill just to sleep normally, because then I like that
yeah,
sort of thing. Like I have to try to remember to take it early enough in the night to where I don't feel like dying when I wake up and I'm not wanting to get out of bed and sleeping past my alarms. So that's that's been my week. It's been kind of boring, but what about you?
So, not a whole lot for me. I mean, we've had some change in weather, and because I am a geriatric human trapped in a 34-year-old body, um, my body is very pissed off the last couple of days, and I've had, like, today was worse than yesterday, but, like, every joint in my body is just stiff and achy, and it's not like I can't explain it. It's not excruciating pain, but it's dull,
It's just always
annoying pain.
there. It's just you can always notice
Yeah,
it.
it's just always there. It's a dull, annoying ache. I feel as if I am this must be how, like, 80-year-olds feel, who are like, "Here comes the rain," like,
I can feel it in my
"Trick me."
bones.
Yeah, I can feel it in my bones. Yeah, and I fucking believe you now, grandpa. I believe you now.
I mean, it
Because
doesn't
when
help
I
that we
woke up
got a
this morning.
hurricane. That's why, like, all this rain stuff, like, it went from,
Yeah,
like, in the 90s to the 70s, and then it's
yeah,
supposed to stay cool a little bit, like, low 80s, but basically the Category 5 hurricane that hit the Caribbean is now, like, swooping over our area right now
yeah, so we're getting the
and causing
after
tornadoes.
the
There's been a
outer
couple of
bands.
tornadoes and stuff.
Yeah, it's we're getting the outer bands. So, um, that be what happens in the good old Midwest. We get those weird outer bands of things as they roll across the plains. So, my body is pieced off. Um, Also, you know me, you know how I am with my nails, and unfortunately, we are we are trying to be good citizens with our finances right now, and we're really making some cuts and trying to just get ourselves in a spot where we can pay off our bills, which we did for the most part. And then I made made a dumb move. Okay, I did a dumb thing. I don't know how I did this dumb thing, which I'm going to segue off my nails for 2 seconds to tell you a story. If you want to feel better about any dumb decisions you make in your life, I did a very dumb thing in which I completely paid off a credit card with money I didn't have when I thought I had made the minimum payment. And we were thankfully able to move one of our payments to our next paycheck and move money out of our savings account that we had worked a while to put in there to fix this problem. Um, but I can't believe I was in tears. I was like, I can't believe I just did that. And I know this bank, because it's a bank we worked with through the job that I had before, and they are notorious for fucking you around on, oh, well, we have to wait until it clears your account, and then they'll take ages. It'll take way longer than it should to clear your fucking account. And then when it finally clears your account and you get a hold of them, they'll dick you around on reversing the charge and all this other shit. So we're just like, it's fine. We're just going to eat it. It fucked us up a little bit, but we're just going to move forward. It's going to be okay. So now, like, for my birthday, I was going to go get my nails done. Like, we had a little birthday money set aside. Well, now that money's gone because I did a stupid thing and paid off a card that shouldn't have been paid off, but at least it's paid now. So I went to Ulta yesterday while the boys were at OT to see about like press on nails, because lots of people are like rocking these really nice press on nails and they look like you went to the salon and got your nails done, but they're like a third of the cost, right? So I'm like, let me just go check out what they have. Let me price it out, see what we got going on here. Like, do I think these will work for me? Well, I had less time than I thought. And then I happened to look down a little further and they had these like nail sticker looking things.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I was like, I've seen these before. I don't feel like fucking with press-ons and glue and everything else right now. I don't have patience for that. But my nails are jacked and I just want my nails to look pretty. So I'm like, well, I'll just snatch these. They were like $10. So I got that and a nail file. Cost me $13.49 to be exact. And I worked on them last night and I'm very happy with them. So I have some new fingies. The light's washing them out. Hold on. Can you see my fingies? Not
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, I
They're
can
like
see 'em. Like a pale pink.
iridescent.
Yeah, like a
They're like
pearl.
iridescent color. There we go. That's better. There's got like
Like an
iridescent
opal.
blue and purple. Yeah, they're very pretty. And they're fucking nail stickers. They're like nail sticker things. And they're supposed to last like 2 weeks. They were pretty fucking easy to put on. So we'll see how I do. My nails are really weak right now, so I think if anything, they might not perform. I don't want to give like the first go and like make a judgment off the first go because my nails themselves are weak from just having acrylics on for like the past 2.5 years straight. Um, so I'm just gonna like let my nails heal and wear these little sticker things, and we're just gonna see how I do because $10 versus $70 to get
Yeah,
my
like
nails done.
nails, like the press-ons, like the glue nails, that's like the kind of thing that I need the most spoons to do because it's like something that you can't really half-ass. Like you can't really like,
No,
I just gonna do one hand and then like tire out. Like, well, I'll do the other hand
yeah,
another time and then never do it. And you have like one hand, all nails and this. But I've been so busy at work that my nails have actually like grown out. Like
yeah.
you can actually see the whites
I
in my
think you
nails.
might like these. These were
Yeah.
really easy.
Whoop. So like my nails are actually these are like the most grown out my nails have been.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I've
And
never
so
seen your nails that long.
like I've been
They
doing
look
your
great.
thing. Yeah, I use a cuticle oil. And so
Nice.
they're pretty strong. But yeah, so like if anyone knows me, they know like I've been biting my nails since I realized that was an option. And like I would never see the white of my nails. Like as soon as any white of my nail would show up, it'd be bitten off. And
Mhm.
it's a
Gone.
subconscious thing because it's like I'll just do it. Like I had them grown out pretty well like when I went to go visit you back in May, But then, like,
Mhm.
driving there, I just, like or driving back, one of the 2, I bit them all off, and I'm like, because I was driving and not paying attention, I'm just like, "Damn it," and so it's more of a subconscious thing, so but yeah,
Yeah.
I do have, like, a set of, press-on nails that I've been wanting to put on, but I'm like, "It just requires so much work," and so
Yeah, because sometimes they don't quite fit right and you have to file them. And, like,
Mhm,
with these, if they don't look like they're gonna quite cover, you can choose the next size down, so you'll have, like, a little bit of nail showing on the side, but, like, that doesn't really bother me. Like, you can't unless you're staring at my nails trying to figure out, like, looking for fucking imperfections, you can't find them. So, like,
mhm,
they're not obviously like, just looking like this, you're not like, "Oh, shit, she put nail stickers on her fingers," right? They just look like a nice set of polished nails. Like, and they feel nice. They're shiny and slick like gel nails, which I love. I think you might like these, and you don't have to go to Ulta to get them. You can buy these kind of things anywhere. Um, but I just happened to go to the Ulta because I was looking for this one specific brand of press-on nail that they didn't actually end up having. Because it's one that I had read reviews on and just happened to find these. So
this
anyway,
this is kinda like a
bullshitting for like 25 minutes, but
It's yeah, that's like a segue. I'm just like, "Oh, it reminds me of, like, the MLM, color street." Speaking of
yeah.
MLMs.
Oh, speaking of bullshitting and interruptions, yes,
Mhm.
sir. Thank you very much. Say hi to everybody, husband.
Hi.
He brought me Slurshee cause Slurshee life.
Mhm.
Oh my god, it's
So,
like frozen salad.
needs to melt a little
Oh my
bit.
god, he didn't give me the big straw. It's the little straw, so I can't get any slushy out. There we go. Got it. Okay. I think. Are you ready? So other
Yes.
than fucking up my money and putting on nail stickers, that's about my life. Are you ready to bullshit?
Yeah.
No, I'm not bullshit. Are you ready to talk about bullshit? Because this whole thing is bullshit that we're getting ready to talk about.
Mhm.
Okay. So this video that I came across is by a YouTube creator. Her channel is CC Suarez. And again, I will link everything in the show notes, including the video I watched. Her name is Chelsea, but her channel is CC. So like two C's, CC. Sorry, I'm about to burp. Hold, please. Come on, burp. You can do it. It's like right there. As soon as I said it, it was like, just kidding. I'm not going to make you burp now. There it was. Moving on. Um, so she goes through like several accounts that are selling these courses, these online courses for
Was it all several accounts or was it just one lady? Because
for
I watched the video but I had it, like, in the background, like, while I was working on stuff, and so I didn't, like, see like, I could see like, hear people talking, but I couldn't tell if it was a different it sounded like it was the same person the whole time.
yeah, so it was mainly about the one person, but like in the very beginning, she started like showing several different accounts that were talking about a similar thing. Essentially, is like this is like basically showing that this is a problem, right? Like this is becoming a growing issue that more and more people are starting to say things like this and discuss shit like this. And then she starts focusing on this one person named Kara something, and she's got a bazillion followers or something like that. And she's this young, I'm assuming either, you know, later end of the millennial spectrum mom who wants to or has a child who's diagnosed at a young age, or she starts to suspect at a young age that he's autistic. And so she goes to her mother-in-law and starts telling her mother-in-law about this, and her mother-in-law gaslights her and says that he's not, because he's don't call him disabled, he's not disabled, da da da. But I guess her child wasn't speaking. There was some other things going on. And then
Which,
she happened
like,
upon
which, like, Cece was like, "You mean your 1 or 2-year-old?" Based on the timeline you're talking about, your 1 or 2-year-old wasn't outwardly vocal? Okay.
Right. Which, fair. Some kids are. My kid was, my oldest was, very vocal. He was actually hyper vocal, which is a more uncommon thing that can be seen in autism, where they could either be nonverbal or have delayed speech, or they could be hyperverbal, so where they have a lot of vocabulary or speak earlier than they should. He spoke earlier than he should, which is why nobody in a million years thought that he was going to be autistic, right? That's why we didn't get a diagnosis for him until he was 4. So he was just not typically presenting. Anyway, I digress. So she starts talking about, and again, I don't really remember. You're fresher on this. Did she mention in her little video, like the mom that we're talking about, did she mention how she got into this whole detox shit? Did she like find somebody on the
She
internet?
just Googled it. She Googled, like, every time, like, her kid did something, like, whenever and so she would look up, like, "My kid did this thing," like, the answer was always autism, and so she was
Okay.
look then she just kinda it was kinda like a do your own research type of thing, and that's how she kinda found, like, these videos or articles about how to detox your kid and how, like,
Okay.
my I thought it was funny how she was like, "Do your kids not have the same organs as you do? Because they don't need all this detoxing shit, that's what the organs are
Right.
for." And
Right.
so, because she was like she was saying that, um, kids can't detox as well as kids, like, their bodies aren't what as well equipped to detox as adults, and I'm like, "Their organs may be smaller, but they still work in relation to their body, but whatever.
Right. And they,
I'm
if
not a
anything, they
doctor."
probably work better because they've not been put through years and years of eating food they shouldn't be eating and
And
everything
caffeine and
else.
everything on sugar
And
and
just
all this.
living as a fucking human, right?
Mhm.
Like, just living as a human, you're going to come in contact with things that aren't the best for your body, but that's what you have detox organs for. That's what your lymphatic system is for. It's what your renal system is for. Like, that's why we have bodies that do those things. You don't need extra help in that matter unless
Unless you have obviously,
your
like, a kidney
organs aren't
problem or
working.
something. Yeah.
Right, unless you have a diagnosed condition by a fucking medical professional that says those systems don't work correctly. Don't go fucking with this shit, and I'm gonna get into why. Okay, we're gonna stay on topic, Nicole. We're gonna stay. I don't want to get too ragey just yet because this shit it makes me rage for many reasons. So she goes on to talk about how she started doing all these things and reading all these things and started figuring things out on her own. And as soon as she started with these different supplements and these different things, his behavior went crazy and he started acting crazy. And then, so she Googled that and something came up about opening his detox pathways, which I don't ever think she ever said how she did that or what that even fucking means. But you didn't open his detox pathways before you detoxed him. And it's like, first of all, what the fuck does that even mean? Second of all, whatever. Moving on, because I'm not. It's not time for rage yet. We got to get information first. See, you're gonna have. I'm gonna have to keep it on task here. No rage yet. We're not there yet. Moving on. So behavior went crazy. She detox. She Googles this. Says didn't open his detox pathways. Whatever. So she opens his pathways, but doesn't tell anybody how or what the fuck that even means. And now all of a sudden, he's eating all these nutrient dense foods. His behavior has improved, which she doesn't explain what the behaviors were or how they improved or what was
The
even
only thing
happening with him.
the only
Said
thing
that
that
he
she
started parroting
yeah,
and
the only thing
talking.
that's the only thing she said changed, like, he went from nonverbal to repeating what she said, so basically being a toddler. Like, he went
Right,
like, that's what toddlers do, they just repeat shit. Like,
right,
even just autistic, like, whenever like, I know anytime I'm watching a show or something, and I know you do, like, we'll repeat what is being like, what said like, if something was funny, we'll repeat it, and I know, like, Nick and Noah
right.
do this, like, we'll just repeat what it says, like, just a repeating thing is, like, an autistic thing, but it's also just a normal ass toddler thing, so.
I'm also looking up to see if I can find this post that she was reading from because
Oh, the article?
Yeah, because I don't think you can find it because I tried to find her earlier and I couldn't find it.
Who, the influencer lady that she was.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, to be fair, she did pay, like, all this money for the course, so it's probably stuff that she would find on the course, right?
maybe I don't know. But
Basically, this
anyway,
lady charges
so
$250 a course. She said it goes up to 500 if you don't buy it by a certain point, but that's just a marketing scheme.
right. She uses that urgency marketing thing. But anyway, so says everything helped her. So that's why she decided she was going to make a course about how she did all this, all the different products she uses, and what dosage and how to do it and when to do it and all this other shit. And so that this is what she wished she had as a mom when she was going through this stuff. By the way, I don't think she ever mentioned if her son was officially diagnosed or not, which we here on this show understand and recognize that, like, in a lot of places it's a privilege to be officially diagnosed, but also that's a little dangerous if you're just dumping all this shit into your kid and you don't even know if he is, like, actually it's a lot easier for children to be diagnosed in this country. And if he probably needs speech therapy and all these other things, like, he's missing out on therapies that would be afforded to him whether they could pay for it or not, right? Like, even if she was on, like, some sort of welfare or whatever, like, things with there's early intervention that he could have been enrolled in. That's free, by the way. If you can't afford it, it's free. Early intervention is a public service. It's free. You don't have to pay. We didn't have to pay because we couldn't fucking afford it, so it was covered by the state. So, and that's available, I think, pretty much everywhere, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But, like, there is a reason why you should pursue it if you really do think your child is autistic, because there are certain therapies, not ABA, but certain other kinds of therapies that could be very helpful and beneficial, and certain things they might need and accommodations they might need in the classroom as they age that they will not receive if they are not diagnosed. Okay. So please pursue it if you are worried about it or you think about it, or at least talk to your child's doctor or whatever you need to do. Soapbox over. She did not mention if the child was actually diagnosed or not. But either way, she goes about all doing all this shit. She makes her course, and now she teaches women and moms how to do all this shit she does to her kid that turned his life around and essentially cured his autism, right? Like, he's a completely new child. You can tell how absolutely fucking done with this I already am. Like, you can just hear it in my voice how much I want to scream into this microphone right now about this woman. So, first of all, let me just say there is no cure for autism because autism is not a fucking disease. There's nothing to cure. Let me say it louder for the folks in the back. There's nothing to cure. It's not a disease. Okay? There's no curing it. Last I checked, it's not a fucking disease.
Also, can I say that I find it kind of ironic that they're all against doctors, except chiropractors. They love chiropractors for whatever reason, but they are against doctors, medical professionals, Western medicine, whatever, except Dr. Andrew Wakefield, who findings are the ones that said vaccines, like certain vaccines lead to autism. It's like, okay, so why just that doctor? Why is it like it's a confirmation bias? Like, oh, I think if part of it is kind of like a self hatred thing, it's like, well, this autism had to come from somewhere, some external source.
Right.
It couldn't have come from me.
Right.
I am God's gift to mankind. My DNA couldn't have given my child autism. And I'm not saying like autism is genetic because they don't know what cause of autism and what the cause of autism is. And it's also like
Right.
all these people now that really hate, like, man, everyone's getting diagnosed with autism, or everyone thinks they're autistic these days. Like back in my day, there were no autistics. There were. It's just easier to see it. They were just put in the loony bins. They were like
Right.
your neighbor down the street who screamed every time like someone was making a noise outside. Like, oh, that's just old crazy Nick down the street. Not, can't just him. Look at him just being weird. So there was no It's kind of like, and she made a point, like, whole cancers, like all these cancers are popping up. Like, yes, we do have like products and stuff that do like contain like carcinogens and stuff like that, but it's also like we have the tools now to detect this shit.
Right.
So it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know, but we have the technology, the tools, more of the know-how in order to see the signs for this. So that's
Correct.
why that's why it's more prevalent. Like back in the day, people either just died or were just put somewhere to be ignored for the rest of their life, or they were just seen as the
Correct.
crazy cousin of the family. Oh,
Correct.
we don't talk about crazy Aunt Rebecca over there. So,
We don't talk about Bruno.
mm-mm,
Okay.
no.
So let me just also say this as a parent, genuinely, as a parent who got roped into believing this shit, I just want to validate first. First, validate, then I'm going to scream some more. First, validate that vaccine injuries are real. Reactions to vaccines are real. Those things happen. I have a child who has a severe reaction to one particular vaccine that caused a massive welt on his leg and his arm the second time he received it. And because of that, the first time he received it, we were written off. But because of that, when we found our next pediatrician, I explained that our pediatrician was very understanding. And in order to figure out exactly which one he was allergic to and mitigate any other severe reactions, his vaccine schedule looks very different to the normal schedule of vaccines. And going forward, since we now know which vaccine it is, he will not receive it again because he had a severe allergic reaction to it.
Like a lot
Okay.
of vaccines contain eggs, so it's
However,
like a lot of vaccines contain eggs. So it's like if you're allergic to eggs,
correct,
then
correct. Lots of things can go wrong, but it is still better than having the fucking mumps or the measles or anything else for
or
that matter,
polio, smallpox,
or
all the
polio. Listen, I am the one who will say I think the chickenpox vaccine is overkill. I really don't think we need it. Call me what you want to call me for
I
that.
think it's because I
I
think
had the fucking chickenpox.
it's more like if you get the chicken pox, you're gonna have a high likely chance of getting shingles when you're older.
Shingles, right. So
That's
they're
why.
trying to prevent that. And also, if you never got the chickenpox as a child, the older you get, it can cause severe issues for you if you contract it as an adult. It does kill people the older they get when they get it. I understand, but like I came from the era of chickenpox parties, so
Yeah, like
like
the chickenpox vaccine I think came out in 1995, so when we were like in kindergarten, first grade. And so like I had chickenpox when I was 2. So obviously I don't
right,
remember it. Like I still have like some chickenpox scars. Like I have one like
yeah,
here and like one on my nose. And so like I'm not saying like, oh, all kids, it's just a thing of childhood. All kids just get the
yeah.
chickenpox. It's just a rite of passage. It's like I'm not
Right.
saying that.
No, me neither,
So
because it still sucks and it was awful and we itched like crazy and some of us got very sick and like literally we picked the first house to get it. All the kids went there and we all got it at the same fucking time, so we all fucking got it over with and the parents took turns rotating out and taking care of us. That's how we did it. So like is it ideal? No. Did it really hurt a lot of us? Yes. Or do we have some scars? Yes. Like is it better probably that we're vaccinated for it? Sure, but like I don't know. Is it gonna kill you to not have it? Maybe not. If you're trying to if you feel like you have an over amount, like if your child has a lot of reactions or whatever, there's one you really don't think they need to have, maybe that you could pick that one and drop it off. I don't know. Not a fucking doctor, not giving you medical advice. It's just an opinion. And they're like assholes. We all have one. That's just my little tangent on that. But either way, I want to validate first that all of these things are real possibilities. Okay. Real, very real, as someone who deals with it in her own home. Totally understand that. However, correlation does not equal causation. Most vaccine schedules for children from birth to about 18 months, I believe, is the last one. And let me just look it up to make sure. I believe you're supposed to receive your last round of baby vaccines at 18 months. You just look
Yeah, I
up
think
vaccine
I think
schedule.
18 to 2 years, 18 months to 2
Child and
years.
adolescent. Table by age. Okay,
Because I know
so
like at 9 or 10 you can start taking like the HPV vaccine.
yes. So they get around at 18 months. And then there is generally nothing because you usually get most of it at your 18-month appointment. So then you won't get anything else until you're 4. And usually that's your DTaP vaccine. That's your 5th dose of your DTaP. And then something else. So like generally like there's a gap in between like 2 and 3. I think you quit about 18 months. You can get some things between 19 and 23, but
And
the way I remember it is 18 months is like your last big round if you want to get it all done during that time, and then you don't usually get anything else until you're about 4.
And I remember, like, back in the day, like, when I was going through, like, my memory box and I'd found, like, my vaccine card, like, you had to get certain vaccines before kindergarten.
Yeah.
Like, there was
So that's
no
usually your next round,
bullshit
kindergarten.
religious exemption, there was no, like, "Well, I just don't feel like protecting my child and the children around them." Like, I just don't feel like it.
Right.
And so, like, that was before, like, social media made all this big stink about it, and so, um like, because I found it, it said, like, check mark, signed by a doctor, all this stuff, so, like,
Right.
to go to school, you had to have your
You
vaccines,
had to have it.
and so, I, like I'm okay, this is gonna sound bad, like, the whole, like, personal freedom thing, like, I get it, but it's also, like, you have to understand you are also a person as part of a community, so you being a selfish little shit just to be a selfish little shit, no really other reason because, you weren't told no enough as a child, I don't know,
Right.
but, like, to be like, "Well, fuck everyone else, I'm my own person, I just should be able to do whatever I want." To me, that's just bullshit. I'm not saying, like, the government should just go into everyone's houses and force vaccines on everybody, like, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all, but the whole, like, "Well, I don't care if other kids get sick, I don't want all these studies done, all these vaccines, and they act like vaccine producers, like manufacturers, are so sly. They're so like shifty and don't tell us the whole story. You can literally get a pamphlet for a vaccine like at any doctor's office. Like their website will state like, "Oh yeah," like and they have to say the side effect. Like one person developed like some sort of disease or whatever just
They have to
around the
put
same
that there.
time. They have to put that there. So like if
Mhm.
someone developed like brain cancer within like a week because like they got diagnosed with brain cancer within a week of getting a vaccine, they have to put may cause brain cancer. Like in
Right.
very rare cases may cause brain cancer. When it's all like the whole correlation for causation, like yeah, they just have to get diagnosed with brain cancer the week that they got their vaccine, but they have to
Right.
put that there. So they're not like if they were being shifty, they wouldn't put that shit. They wouldn't say, "Oh yeah, our
Right.
vaccines might cause autism, brain cancer." And so
Right.
I don't understand this whole like, well, they're just trying to hide everything, and like to me that's just nonsense and whatever.
Right. And yes, there are like ingredients in vaccines that have to be there because if they're not there, you like you can get like they can get contaminated. Like that's why the heavy metals are in there, right? Because they're keeping bacteria out. Okay? So like the amount though that's going in your system is so negligible, and even if you put all those vaccines together, it's still not enough to cause the things they're saying it's causing.
Well, I remember a
Like,
meme where it showed like a I remember like this went around like back when this is when like mumps and measles were making a big comeback, probably about like
yeah.
7 years ago, like when that whole measles outbreak and like I think it was Disneyland because some crunchy mom decided like I want to take my measles-ridden kid to Disneyland. And then like that measles was basically not eradicated but basically like contained, and that just made it worse. And this is
Right.
before COVID, but I remember like the meme going around like between like probably about 7 years ago, I want to say. It was like a baby doll with all these like syringes being
All the
poked in. Like
needles.
I'm
Yeah.
like I'm like the dosage is what causes it. Like you can say like drinking any amount of like drinking too much water will kill you. Like
Mhm.
if you drink several gallons of water a day, that will kill you. But that's
Yeah,
not
because your
saying that
cells will
water
burst.
itself kills you. So it's
Right.
like what is it? Like dosage makes the kill. Like, I can't remember the term. That it's the
Yeah, but
dosage.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's like a
to me that's and
colloquialism for that.
o- or the or the or the whole like well, it would you like basically the ingredients of a vaccine? Like, well, would you put that in a spoon and like feed it to your kid? It's like, okay, well, would you inject like a liquefied broccoli into your child's veins? Like, no,
Right. No.
it's methods of this. Like, you can't
Right,
inject air
exactly.
into your veins, but you fucking breathe it. It's delivery
Right.
system. It's a thing. I don't understand.
Correct. Correct. They make all these points to try to seem like to bolster their thought process, and it's just bullshit. But like is it perfect? No, because nothing made by man is perfect, right? Like it does have its issues, but for the fucking majority, these are safe, okay? Like, stop being terrified. Stop terrifying people that if they give their child vaccinations that are not only helpful for their child, but for the community they are going to live in as a whole, right? That they are going to cause their child to have fucking autism. Stop doing this. Stop saying this to people. It's not okay. Stop that. Knock it off. It's not cool.
It's
You
also
believe whatever the fuck you want to believe, crazy Karen, but stop telling other people your crazy shit. That's what's wrong with the internet. These people used to live in basements somewhere and then you just avoided them, right?
they
But
had
now there's a thing called
their
the
own little
internet.
forums, their own little forums on
Right. These
on
used
these
to live
little
on
corners of
some
the internet. And then
correct, some weird
uh,
chat fucking room in the crazy back end of the fucking internet. Now they're all over TikTok for the
and,
entire world to see.
and it's also and it was also the phrase is dose makes the poison. That's what I looked it up. I'm like
Mhm.
dose makes the poison, like
There
dose
you
makes the
go.
killer.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, yeah. I
so
knew what you
the
were trying to say. I just
yeah,
couldn't remember it either.
and the whole like because these people are often like these two groups of people are if you make a Venn diagram of these two groups of people, it basically makes a circle. So the
Right.
whole like vaccines cause autism, but then also I don't want my child to get vaccines for whatever reason. Typically, the people that don't want their child to have vaccines are typically the ones that think that vaccines cause autism. So what they're saying, in my mind, is like I would rather my child have mumps, measles, which like mumps can cause like sterility, all these problems. Measles all obviously can kill you. Like I'd rather have my child have all these diseases that should have been eradicated years ago. I'd rather have my child possibly die of that than be autistic.
Correct.
So they to
Exactly. And
them
that's like
to them autism is a death sentence. To them that's more of a death
correct.
sentence.
Correct. That was like going to be my ultimate point and you brought it up beforehand, but that's totally fine because we're kind of
Sorry.
getting to a place. It's okay. We're about at the hour-ish mark anyway, so we probably need to start arriving at our main point for this particular episode anyway. Um you're fine. I'm not mad about it, but like that's my ultimate point. Um so the other thing is like so okay, I like this. So we'll save like the essential oil shit and all that. We'll save that for next week
Mhm.
because that's a personal story that I want. Or do you want me to tell it now?
I mean, we're getting close to time, so we can kind of because I don't have a lot of like more in terms because you said I'll be the one talking more in the next episode. It's more of like I don't really have a lot of personal experience. I don't get into MLMs. I can get into
Yeah,
why. I can get into like
she's
my
smarter than
whole
me.
well, it's I'll get into more of the reason why I've never done an MLM, why I've never sold stuff like that. It's like why I never bought into that. Like I'll get into the reason why next episode, but yeah, we can get into like to me essential oils. Like yeah, people use them on their kids, like colloidal silver, elderberry, whatever. And yeah,
Oh,
they
don't get me started on that shit.
like I understand they have their uses. Like yeah, like but they're not cure alls,
No.
and so they're not like, "Oh, just give your baby a mixture of lavender, cat urine, elderberry, colloidal silver,
Cat urine.
whatever, like potatoes and onions on their feet and stuff, like, and they'll be invincible for the rest of their life." And so I've literally heard people like say like they give their child like coffee enemas. I've heard like like you can't
No.
cat urine, but like I've heard of urine like stuff like that, like rubbing breast milk on their like sores, and I'm just like,
Oh, I've heard of people putting breast milk in their kids' ears, and I was so fucking irritated.
no,
Nothing should go in your I see, I'm gonna rage. Nothing belongs in your ears. Water doesn't even belong in your ears. Stop doing that shit. Stop it. You want to
get some
cause a
help.
fucking infection? Stop doing that shit. Knock it off. Nothing belongs in your ears. They say these people swear by it. People swear by it. I can only think of what the fuck happened if there was like a little bacteria baby running around in there, and now it's in my kid's already infected fucking ear. And now they're gonna have like some crazy fucking ear infection mixed with nasty milk in their fucking ear. Like, yes, I know it's human boob milk, so it's not like cow milk, but like now there's milk and bacteria in my kid's ear. Like, I don't know how good of a fucking combination that is. Like, no, stop it. Like, stop that. Stop doing dumb things. Take your kid to a fucking doctor. If they have an ear infection, they need a fucking antibiotic. Stop putting your titty milk in their ears. Knock it off. So annoying. It's so annoying. Take them to a fucking doctor. Unless they have a
and,
damn good
and
reason
more than a
why they cannot
chiropractor.
have an antibiotic, take them to the fucking doctor and get one.
Yeah, and they're really against antibiotics. I don't, whatever.
Like, yes, antibiotics don't discriminate. They're going to destroy the good and the bad bacteria. But guess what? They make things like probiotics that can help you put the good bacteria
Oh
back
yeah,
in there.
not to get like I'll just like say one more kind of like point on this because like it was in the video, but the whole like autistic, and I don't know what I didn't look this up. I didn't like a correlation or if she was just pulling this fact out of her ass. Well, fact, which she probably was.
Yeah.
She's like
Yeah, she was.
autistic people, autistic kids, like they have poor gut health than like quote unquote regular people, and it's like I feel like that's more like the whole correlation thing, like correlation
Yes.
causation thing, because it's like, yeah, it's like I'm lactose intolerant, like my gut health sucks, but it's also like I wasn't always lactose intolerant. I didn't always like, and
Right.
I've been autistic all my life, and so
I
it's like
mean,
I
we
wasn't
tend,
always lactose intolerant. Like I wasn't
I
lactose
mean,
intolerant until I was in my
autistics
20s.
can have more GI problems, yes, than some other people, but
But it could
so
just
can
be a
people with
sign. It could just be a
anxiety. So
sign.
can people with,
Depression.
like, so can people with depression. Like, there's so many reasons for gut issues, but doesn't mean also, like, I don't want to get, I see there's so many tangents I can go on. Like, the probiotic tangent I could go on. You have to be careful with probiotics too, because you don't know if your gut issues are being caused by something like SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And there are certain strains of probiotics that most of them are like found in the grocery store that for most people are perfectly fine. But if you have some sort of gut imbalance or something's wrong in your gut, like for real, and you take those, it can make it worse. Like, you can cause yourself a severe problem. Stop medicating yourself when you don't know what you're doing. And for the love of God, which we'll talk about this in the next fucking video, but like, I am all for adding to, and like, if you want to do some holistic things along with your medical treatment and you're not like completely swearing off the Western medical system because, you found this new essential oil that cures everything, great. I am all for adding things. Aromatherapy is real, man. I can there are smells that just melt my fucking nervous system problems away and I can just lay there and chill, right? Like I am all for aromatherapy benefits. I'm all for, maybe rubbing a little bit on my body or whatever. Like I'm all for the essential oils. Totally fine with it. I have no problems with any kind of holistic healing things that you want to do. There's a reason why a good, nice chicken noodle soup makes you feel better and like gives you, when you're sick, like there's reasons for these things. Different herbs. Herbs are fucking powerful, man. But you also have to be careful with that shit because you can also fuck around and kill yourself. So like you have to know what you're fucking doing. And these people on the fucking internet who are selling you courses on how to detox your child using ingredients that are dangerous if you don't know what you're doing with them should not be allowed to do this. It should be fucking illegal. They are not trained. They are not medical professionals. They are not even dietitians or any herbalists, nothing. Zero former training. They're just blondes with Instagram accounts and kids who they think are autistic or maybe even are autistic, who some other blonde with a fucking Instagram account told them if they give their kids glutathione, it's going to solve their fucking gut problems and they're going to have no more autism anymore. It's not okay. Stop doing this. You could hurt yourself or your fucking child. This is your child. It's your baby. Don't do this shit. You have no idea what that stuff is going to do to your kid. Even if it's benign is the best outcome, but it's not the only fucking outcome. Your kid could have a severe reaction to this, and then you take them to the fucking hospital and they ask you, why the fuck did you give your 2-year-old glutathione? And you say some bitch on the internet told me to, you're getting a CPS call. Like, you're gonna get your fucking kid ganked from your ass. Like, you can't do that shit. Stop being dumb. Don't fall for this shit. These people don't know what the fuck they're doing. Don't put your kid in harm's way for some stupid bitch on the internet who thinks they can cure fucking autism with detox shit. Stop it. Knock it off.
Get some help.
God damn it. I'm so mad. Makes me so fucking angry. Because the point you fucking made earlier, why are we trying to cure it anyway? It's not a fucking disease. It's just the way that baby's brain formed. You are telling your child without telling your child, because guess what? They're going to grow up and know all about this shit because you're not going to stop this.
It's also
They're
like
going to be old enough to understand.
It's also like you have all this shit on the internet. The internet's forever. They're gonna find mommy's Instagram account, even if Instagram doesn't exist when that kid's old enough to access the internet and look up this stuff. They're gonna know. My mom thought she was like, it's like back in the day when parents would give their kids like lobotomies, electric shock therapy. It's like,
yeah,
they're gonna come and like, my mom did all this shit to me when I was a kid because she feared I was autistic. Like,
yeah.
no.
Like, you are telling your child that how they were born is not okay. You are telling them that something they cannot control, something you could not have controlled, is so wrong with them that they need to be cured. Something that can never change about them. They are never, no matter how many gut health things you do, no matter how many courses you fucking buy, no matter how many herbs or probiotics or glutathiones or fucking zincs or whatever fuck else you put in that baby's body, they are never going to be not autistic. It's never going to be gone. It is who they fucking are. It's who they are. It's how their fucking brain developed. You cannot change that. And you were telling that kid that it's not okay to be alive. Mm-hmm. It's fucked up. Sorry. I'm so mad. This is the perfect one to watch, man. If you've never thought about joining the fucking Patreon, this is the time to do it because a bitch is fired up. I'm making all the faces. I'm throwing hands. I'm slamming drinks. This girl, I'm mad. Okay, I'm mad. If you want to see me mad, if you want to see the faces and the goddamn, oh, I'm so mad. I hate people like this. I hate it. Stop being fucking idiots and stop doing this. Stop telling these people this shit. You are what's wrong with the fucking world. Get a goddamn clue and quit fucking with your kid's health. You don't know what you're doing to the kid. Oh, so don't fuck with the babies. You want to see me get mad? Fuck with the babies. Fuck with them babies, and I will fuck with you. I will be your worst fucking problem. Stop fucking with them babies. Leave them alone. You dumb bitch. Fuck with your own body all you want. You're grown. You do what you fucking want with it. Leave that goddamn baby alone. Rant over. I gotta shut up. I gotta shut up.
Scene.
End scene. I gotta shut up because I swear to God I could scream about this all night. It drives me so. Whoo! Girl. It makes me so mad. Okay, we're gonna shut up now. Okay. Let's stop. Let's stop now before I get real angry and put some more fucking slushy all over the room by slamming this cup around. Okay, that's it. That's it. We're gonna stop it here. Please stay tuned for part 2 next week.
And any of socials.
Yeah, I will definitely do the socials. So stay tuned next week for part 2. We're gonna talk about the MLM that I got roped into years and years ago. What happened with that? The shit that I had me believe in. How I got out. All that good jazz.
It's like
and
Scientology.
We'll go from there. Scientology. How I got out. It's pretty fucking close. I mean, it's pretty fucking close. But we'll talk about it then. All the socials are linked in the show notes, but it's basically at the NDC podcast everywhere. Socials are platformed. Come find us there. Facebook is where we're most active. So that's probably the easiest place to get in touch with us. Send us a message or leave a comment on one of our posts. You guys have really been liking my question posts I've been making lately. Definitely going to keep doing those. They're just fun. Like the last one I just did was about fireworks. I was like, fireworks, a must see or sensory nightmare. We got a lot of responses on that, and you guys are liking that, and I'm loving connecting with you guys in that way. It gets me to like get to know you guys. And it's just really cool reading all your responses, and thank you for engaging. It's really nice to see everyone engaging on there. So come join us over there, engage with us. We have a lot of new followers over there. So I'm like trying to like figure out like who's really there for the engagement, and just kind of let them get to know us a little better. I am on Facebook quite a bit. Amanda drops in when she can, but she works like full time and I'm at home all day. So I have way more time to spend on social media. So anyway, the link to that video, the specific one we watched, and that creator that I'm really digging right now, and I'm definitely going to be watching more of her stuff, will be in the show notes. Let me know if you guys watch that stuff and maybe want her to come on. We can chat with her. She's also neurodivergent. She's diagnosed autistic and ADHD. So maybe we can chat with her about how she started her platform and her diagnosis and all that stuff. And that's it. Let's do a Mad Lib now.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's the fun and fuckery portion. Okay.
We need like a non-Jeremy transition.
I know. I need to work on that. I need to work on a trailer for the fun and fuckery portion of the show. This is fun. This one. I was happy when I saw what the title was of this. I was like, let's roll with this here. Let me think about this theme as I write some of these things down. So I made it highly chaotic and strange.
Good.
Are you ready for words?
Is it the dysfunctional famous families?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And we're still in our thing. We just have a few to go, actually.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird.
Okay. From you, ma'am, I would like an adjective.
Defunct.
Plural noun.
Or do I need to change that? I just read the first sentence. I know I wasn't supposed to do that. Does that not make any sense?
No, I mean, it's Mad Libs. Is it really supposed to make sense?
Okay. You said plural noun?
Yep.
Lemurs. Why,
Lemurs.
I don't know. It just came to my mind, and I was like, lemurs. Sounds good.
Momo. Uh,
Momo.
Momo. Verb ending in ing.
So I didn't realize there was one that far up the page, so I placed fucking farther down the page. So
Mhm.
I just wrote sucking instead.
Noun.
Debit card. Because it was in front of me when I was writing my words.
I literally like I got like halfway. I don't know if you'll be able to tell like when I just kind of fucking gave up because I don't really go in
Gave up.
order of these, but like when I do mine just I just kind of scroll through social media and like words, words, words. Um verb past tense.
Impregnated.
Ooh, pregante.
Oh, pregante. Preganinant.
Preganinant. Preg I got so focused on saying those. I was like, how do I spell impregnated? Like I was trying to spell it like any
Do you
noun.
remember that video that was going around where it was that guy reading uh
Oh,
the
the
like
comments
question?
like the
Yeah.
comment drama, like you singing the song.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
How'd
It's
you know his girlfriend is pregurned?
yeah,
Like
that's what
they,
that's what I'm referring to. It's
yeah.
like, is my girlfriend pregnant?
Pregnant. Preganinant.
Can ooh be pregante?
Pregante.
Uh and then he's like, is my dog pregnant? So uh pregonate. Okay, sorry. Noun.
Pregonate. Crackhead.
I was like, did I do one with that? And I was like, no, that was last time I did crack cocaine. Um, verb.
I'm really unsure how to spell this because it's not even a real word, I don't think, but gank.
Gank. I'm assuming gank. Like to gank
Sure.
someone, to kill someone in the game.
Yeah.
Uh, noun.
Shady lawyer.
He's not a shady lawyer. It made me think of I literally just watched like the last video I watched before I got on here was a legal eagle video.
Mm.
Shady lawyer.
Yeah, he's definitely not a shady lawyer, but
He's
he
not.
is a lawyer
He is a
nonetheless.
lawyer. He's a little bit shady. You have to be a little bit shady to be a lawyer. Number
3.
3. Noun.
Exotic animal trainer. There were like no adjectives except for the first one, so I added several.
I know I had so many verbs. Like I think like 75% of my words were verbs.
Yeah.
Verb ending ing.
Fucking.
Fuck.
You already know what it is.
You know what it be. Number
4,000,000.
million. Verb.
Million. Manipulate.
Manipulate and listen. Okay. Noun.
Dildo.
Dildo. You're a dildo. Noun.
You ready to hate me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the worst one I've ever done to you.
Okay. Is it long?
What? Oh yeah,
That's
real
what she
long.
said. Okay, let's go.
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man
I feel like that was one of the
from
like
Weekapog. You don't have to put
wacky
from Weekapog, but
waving. What? Wacky waving.
inflatable arm
Inflatable
flailing
arm flailing
tube man.
tube man.
Welcome to Al's Wacky Waving Inflatable Arm Flailing Tube Man Emporium and Warehouse in Weekapog.
I feel like that's one you did like probably one of the first Mad Libs because it's like it's one you've always been able. I can never say it correctly,
Yeah.
like by memory. Noun.
Robot girlfriend.
Kinky. I saw this meme the other day. It was like the fact that Plankton created his computer wife Karen and she disrespects him, meaning meaning Plankton is a masochist. It has like an humiliation kink or something like that. Because
Ooh,
Plankton from
created
SpongeBob.
her.
Yeah, he created
Yeah.
his computer wife, and it's like, and she's mean to him. So it's like you created this wife to be mean to you. So obviously you
I don't
like
like to
it.
think that hard about things like that because it makes it weird so fast.
I think about this stuff all the time. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
Ugh.
Verb past tense.
Exploded.
Did I do that word? Hold on. I think I almost did because mine was close.
Okay.
Uh, a place.
The warehouse where Cybertrucks are made.
Oh, I mean the giant paperweights.
Yeah, the giant paperweights made of aluminum foil.
I saw a video like someone trying to drive one in the snow and it just got stuck and it like they had to get like an actual truck to get out of like a Ford F-150 or something like that. Warehouse where
Let me bring my real truck to get your
yeah.
Cybertruck out of the snow. Merga.
Fucking America. Just try Cybertrucks are made.
You're giving them power, Elon Musk. Keep making dumb things. You're going to keep giving the America people power.
I know, right?
Oy. Just
More
giving them the
ammunition.
ammunition to make fun of
Yes,
them.
that's what I said. Okay. This one's called Dysfunctional Famous Families, a checklist. You know you grew up in a defunct known dysfunctional family when your dad was the president of the United Lemurs and got caught sucking the hot debit card. Oh, Monica Lewinsky, who? Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
God.
extra points if he impregnated about it on National Crackhead.
No, no.
Your manager mother thinks it's a good idea for you to gank naked and play shady lawyer.
Oh, no.
She also thinks you need to lose 10 to 3 pounds so you can land that diet exotic animal trainer deal. Uh,
Sorry. Because it's really fucked up because apparently a lot of those places, they starve those girls that work there so they could be skinny.
mhm.
Like that one guy that they did the episode on that was like, he's not from Joe Exotic's park, but the other weirdo with all the girls that work there.
I never saw
Uh,
Tiger King, so I don't know.
what?
Yeah, I never saw Tiger
You've
King.
what? You never more screaming? You've never watched Tiger King?
I know what it's about.
Amanda.
Hey, I will say I've met Joe Exotic in person, so I will say at least I got that going for me.
Shut your mouth. Did you really?
Yeah, he brought tigers to the Marion Mall. And
That's
so
right. I remember that.
and I was there. I have pictures with the tiger. And there he is.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
Amanda.
I win.
When I come down next, we are watching fucking Tiger King and you're going to like it.
I mean,
And
I know
all
it's
the
like I don't
spin-offs.
mind watching it. It's like it was one of those things. It's like it was such a hype that I felt like by the
You're
time I
like, I
wanted to
can't.
get around to watching it, I don't. It's like I missed it. All the memes. I know Carol Baskins. Carol Baskins.
Oh my
Uh,
God, Amanda. You have
okay.
homework next time I come. Sorry.
Okay.
I had to
No,
interrupt the Mad Lib for that.
it's okay. Your sister is constantly in and out of rehab for exhaustion and addiction to fucking pills or addicted to fucking pills. Uh, Got to put the right emphasis on the right
The
syllable.
fucking
Okay.
pills.
Mm-hmm. The luxurious facility could double as a 4 million star spa.
Cute.
Your dad is a rock and manipulate star who fathered several children throughout his career. You didn't find out he was your biological dildo until you saw it on the front page news. The front page of the news wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Oh my God, that's funny.
You and your brothers were in a robot girlfriend band group. That actually does sound like a band name. Robot girlfriend.
It
It's like,
does sound like a band name. It does.
my name is Stevie and this is the robot girlfriend. Let's go. Okay. Band group and your parents exploded all your money. Sounds like a trust fund kid. Not a trust fund kid, but like
For
when
real.
celebrity parents like spend all their like not celebrity parents, like when parents of young child actors spend all their money.
Yes.
You had to sue them in the warehouse where Cybertrucks are made to get your earnings back.
I love that. I love that. That's great. Oh, okay. Well, that's it.
That's it
That's
for
all I
part
got.
one.
That's part one. I could scream so many more screams, but we're going to save that for you to listen to next week. Spoiler alert, I get to scream about it in about 5 minutes as we record part 2 of this so we
Bathroom
don't
break.
break our thought. Yeah, definite bathroom break. Then yeah, we're just gonna be done. I don't know what I was gonna say, but then came to mind, and then it just so we must be done now. We love you. We will see you next week for part 2. Let me find the outro. Okay,
Talk to the
bye.
ghost. Goodbye.